Hi, in this video we'll be doing an IB Applications and Interpretation question, paper 1, time zone 1 from May 2024. And this question combines a little bit of algebra and a little bit of central tendency. All right, so let's get started. It gives us here the formula for Fahrenheit and how it converts with Celsius. And so in this question it says find the formula for converting temperature in Fahrenheit to Celsius, which means that they want us to take the C and isolate the C. So let's begin. All right, so here we have that original formula, Fahrenheit equals 1.8 C plus 32. And we are working to isolate that C. So the first thing we have to do, going backwards, subtract 32 from both sides. And so we get Fahrenheit minus 32 equals 1.8 times Celsius. And so inverse operations, once again, we have to divide that by 1.8, and whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other side. And so we get that C is equal to F minus 32 over 1.8. All right, so that is the answer for A1. And we can move on to A2. All right, so for the second part of the question, it says to find the temperature in Celsius that is recorded as 77 degrees Fahrenheit. So we already did the hard part. We already found the formula. So our formula, I'm going to rewrite it, is F minus 32 over 1.8. And it wants us to convert 77 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius. So Celsius equals, and now we can plug in 77 for F and type that into our calculator. So whenever you have a fraction like this, you want to make sure you are grouping the numerator if there's more than one term, and if there were more than one term in the denominator, you'd want to put parentheses around that as well, but we don't have to since there is just one value. All right, so once you type that into your calculator, you should get 25 degrees Celsius. And now we're ready to go on to part B. So part B says, over 1 year, the mean daily temperature in Mexico was calculated to be 17 degrees Celsius with a standard deviation of 9 degrees Celsius. And it wants to know what's the degrees in Fahrenheit during that year. The mean first and then the standard deviation. So let's go ahead and find the mean. In order to find the mean, you are doing that conversion once again, but we are going now back to Fahrenheit. So we're going to be using the Fahrenheit formula. So this is B1. Fahrenheit is equal to 1.8 Celsius plus 32. So Fahrenheit is equal to 1.8, and we now put in that 17 degrees Celsius plus 32, and we can type this directly into the calculator, and we get that is equal to 62.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Now the last part is asking us to convert that standard deviation, or to tell what that standard deviation is. Now here is where it gets a little bit tricky. So we want to first know, what does standard deviation mean? Standard deviation tells us the spread of the data. So this is not a number that we are converting so much as a number that we're trying to figure out how far that number is spread, or that set of numbers are spread. So that plus 32, that part of the conversion is not important to us because that is an adjustment that is not needed. What we do need is to scale that conversion. So we know that to go from Fahrenheit from Celsius to Fahrenheit, we do have to multiply, but we don't need to do anything else but that multiplication. And I hope that makes sense. If that doesn't, please leave a comment and I'll try to explain in the comment as well. All right, so here we go. In our conversion, we know that F is equal to 1.8 C plus 32, but again, we are only looking at how this number is scaled because we're only looking at that spread. So we don't need the plus 32. I'm just going to write it and then I'm going to X it out. We don't need it. All right. So then f is equal to 1.8 times that standard deviation, which is 9. And we get that the new standard deviation is 16.2. And that's it.